This is where ideals and loyalties are put to test. This is where hindrances and conflicts lead to the survival of the worthy and the fittest. This is where the contention and competition begins. This is where a stiflingly significant atmosphere puts all your menacingly desperate skills to a check, to provide an escape from your inexorable demise. This is the battlefield, a place where boys turn into men. And in a place like this, it's next to being injudicious to jump into the terrain without proper training and strategies that could enhance your chances of survival. Welcoming you to the cantonment, where you'd see the battlefield through my eyes, analyze, and learn to be resilient, no matter how repetitive your cessation may be. I am Pain, and this is a series of tips and tricks that you'd enjoy watching, that would be worth following to at least make your day a bit longer on the field, if not to render yourself the last man standing tag. So let's go to the drive where you settle relaxing in the back seat. But don't forget to be attentive, else it may cost you your life.
The safe zone is collapsing. K9 unit incoming. The last revived flight will arrive.
Have you ever tried fishing? It's not easy and almost impossible to catch fishes directly from water, so instead we lure them to a trap. We use a piece of worm or something similar, which attracts them. They think it's their food, attack it, and in the process end up themselves becoming our food. That's life. My friend, you either play cool or die cold. This tactic is not something new and is used by warriors from over the ages and is still in use by our soldiers in tactical combats against the extremists. Today, let's try to learn the baiting trick. I'll show you some of the never-ending ways to bait an enemy into his own grave. So follow along and pay attention to every detail. There are 2 helicopters, but none of them are even trying to shoot each other. So I'd assume that both of them are soldiers from the same squad. Since they are on a helicopters, I will not rush them. Instead, let's try to bait them into a trap. We'll fire randomly in a pattern similar to that of bots. Let's see if they are hungry enough for a bot, which I believe they will of course be. Keep in mind that before inviting enemy, always ensure that you have a solid cover. We don't want to engage with the enemy while in middle of an open field. There must be a guard because you never know, you might need to retreat. Here in this case, these rocks would act as a good cover while engaging in the tackle. They're falling for it. Now this is going to be interesting, but I wonder why they decided to approach us on foot instead of jumping on us from their helicopter. Oh come on, when I said about jumping on us from the helicopter, I obviously didn't mean you to jump on us all alone. Two down and 2 more to go.
Careful, poltergeist is active.
He had a higher ground and a poltergeist class 2, and he decided to use all of that to revive his knocked teammate instead of taking a fight? Seriously? And there we go. It was a 2v4. But our baiting trick helped us go through it as smooth as butter. They could have put up a significant fight in case they all jumped on us together from helicopter, but this is the beauty of bot fire, cause who the hell jumps with an entire team just to kill bots? Anyways, Let's move to the second example of how to trap the enemy into a bait. As we just saw, one way of baiting the enemy is to bot fire at them. But you'd be glad to know that there are other ways too, as you'll see in this example. Here, initially, we decided to loot the airdrop, but on a second thought, we were hungry for kills too, so we just camped around the airdrop instead. Yeah, you guessed it right, this time the airdrop will act as the bait. That's a full squad approaching on an ORV. I'll first let you watch what happened, then explain a bit about it.
Engaging the enemy. Enemy down.
Get the dog tags. Airdrop incoming.
Now, let's rewind back and have a brief discussion about what just happened.
Engaging the enemy.
Here, the first igniter guy was lost somewhere, and hence was an easy kill. The first kill is mostly easy because of the surprise factor associated with it.
Enemy down.
Now, the enemy knows we are here, so we need to be very cautious. Also, do notice that once again, as we baited the enemy with the airdrop, we are not doing it without any cover. This cliff, this curved terrain, is itself a cover from where both of us can reposition any moment using our classes. Now, while using an SMG, many of us think that we can fire only when we are stably standing on the ground. However, that's not the case. There are situations like these, where if you wait for your landing on the ground before you shoot, you'd most probably get no chance to even pull the trigger by the time you land. Hence, try to shoot even when you're in the air. It's just a matter of accuracy, which can be improved if you're willing to do so. Now, ideally in this case, I'd be repositioning myself using my ninja rope on that tree for two reasons. First is that my SMG needs to be reloaded and there is no time for that, and obviously using my assault rifle for enemies this close is surely going to get me killed. Second reason is that there are still two enemies alive, and I am really low on armor. But here is a hidden catch. My teammate, although got knocked, gave this guy significant damage. He informed me about it within this split second, and that made me instantly decide to neither reload nor reposition and shoot him down instead.
Get the dog tags.
My mate was correct. He got knocked by just one or two bullets. Now, there is no question of repositioning. It's a 1v1 with the last guy. Now, imagine if that little piece of info wasn't delivered to me by my mate at the correct time. I'd have repositioned myself, which not only was unnecessary, but also would lead to successful revival of members of this squad, and hence all our efforts would have gone wasted. So you must always know this, that even if you are knocked down, you still have the responsibility to guide your yet alive teammates. When knocked down, you are out of pressure and hence can think and observe your surrounding more clearly than your teammate, who is already under pressure. Believe me when I say this, that it's not over until it's actually over. You must have heard the old saying that no one is an inborn perfectionist. Perfection does not come overnight. You have to work on your mistakes over and over, again and again, and only then may someday be the possibility of you being the perfectionist. If all of this is true, then why not apply these principles on the battlefield too? When on the battleground, always, and I'd repeat again, always try to look for the mistakes you commit. Every missed bullet, every missed movement, each and every step you took, summarize and analyze everything to every possible minute detail. Only then you'd understand where things went wrong and what else could have been done to avoid what just happened with you on the action ground.
Enemy is near! The airdrop is coming.
Can you spot the mistake here? You have 5 seconds to think what I'm doing wrong here in this situation. Take your time. Let's rewind back a bit and understand where I went wrong. Here my teammate just knocked a guy coming from that side of the field, meaning that rest of his mates are probably towards that side too. Focusing on the player close to the chip terminal would only cause our duo to scatter apart from each other. Moreover, even if this chip terminal guy happens to be one of their teammates, still, it's more of a benefit to leave him and focus on the enemies coming from this side of the field along with my teammate, since the chip terminal guy is quite far away and can be dealt with a few seconds later.
Enemy down.
This was all my fault. I couldn't read this coming at that moment, but analyzed it later on. Just as I explained, even when I brought down this chip terminal guy, what was the use? I left my teammate alone, and he went outnumbered and got killed. Being a duo in a squad battle, I should have stayed together with my brother instead of rushing alone. Having committed this mistake, all I'm craving for right now is a sweet bloody revenge.
Defense.
For some reason, this revenge didn't satisfy me, probably because I still have the guilt of leaving my mate alone.
Get the
I'll
dog
make sure
tags.
to never do that again.
Dog tags have been scanned successfully.
After my brother got revived and got re-equipped, the battleground tested us if we learned something from the previous encounter or not. But by this time, we've already learned from our mistakes. We decided to stick together and let the enemy push us. Want to see the difference? Just sit back and enjoy.
Enemy vehicle is nearly done for.
And he ran away, just like that. His fortune, I must say. My grenade was properly timed. Only if he had not hit that obstacle with his hover bike, he'd have died in vehicle explosion from my grenade. Although we won the match, we did not get the chance to meet with this hover biker ahead in the match, probably for obvious reasons. So as I was saying, learn from your mistakes and make sure you do not repeat it.
Airdrop
Instead,
Enemy
try
is
to
near!
make new mistakes every time. That way you discover all your drawbacks and improve with time. Alright gentlemen, that was all for today. Do let me know if you enjoyed the session by dropping down your thoughts in the comments section. I'd bring more of such tips and tricks videos on this channel, so stay tuned and keep practicing your stuffs. This is Pain, signing out.